SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, it's a global international, it's a global ambition to move forward from the Millennium Development Goals, taking stock of what was achieved in the MDGs in the last millennia and what needs to be done. A lot was achieved, but then you also realize when you do the stock taking that much is yet to be done. When you look at the Sustainable Development Goals that have just been passed in the UN Summit in New York, if you look through the 17 goals that have 169 targets, you realize the theme of equity is very strongly implied in this one, in that in all the 17 targets, there's an angle of not just what is to be done, but who is the center of this. It gives a very heavy bias on the human rights approach to everything else. So then if you look back, the MDGs had a lot of what was to be achieved, but then if you look at the SDGs now, it has put the human being, the person, at the center of the activity. And it's quite good because then it gives meaning to work, and it gives a very big responsibility to government. It calls up to government to stand up and be counted as duty bearers, and also to position themselves in a way that they're able to be questioned on what they're doing and how they intend to do it. One of the biggest challenges that is now at the doorstep of government is that they're supposed to take up the SDGs, understand them as government, decide exactly what they want to do and how they want to move to contribute towards the SDGs, and decide if they're going to formulate or revise legislation and come up with their policy plans or implementation plans or even investment plans on how they're going to roll out the SDGs. Because then this time around it's universal access. Nobody's being left behind. Everything and everybody has to be reached out. It's a tall order. But then it doesn't stop with government. You have civil society. Civil society cover a big chunk of development work. And if you look at all the 17 goals, there's a lot of work to be done. And the 17 goals actually read the way they read because of the great work the civil society has done. Civil society has done a lot of lobbying for equitable distribution, for being sensitive to women and children, for being sensitive to gender dynamics on all angles, whether it is sustainable cities, whether it is informal settlements, whether it is water and sanitation, whether it is education, whether it is poverty or food security. There is a very human angle to this, and it's just not about the numbers, but it's about the people, the beneficiaries. So then it's a very tall order for the duty bearers that they actually are accountable to what they're meant to do. And there's no one better positioned to ensure that this happens if it's not the civil society, who provide very complementary support to governments who are well intentioned to do a lot of work for their citizens.